I'm Howard Flight. I know JP because my wife Christabel and he are two formidable Westminster councillors, and as a result of which we became very good friends. And thank everybody for coming this evening. It's been very nice to see several old friends going back many, many years. What we have is a very unusual beast. It's someone from continental Europe whose native tongue is French.
Dutch.
Wow, come on, don't smile at him. Flemish, well, that's, yeah, all right. But who actually voluntarily realized that the Anglo-Saxon principles of economics and liberty had a great deal to offer and were rather pleasanter for citizens to live under than some of the regimes across the water.
Thank you very much, Howard. Howard has become a very good friend, and so has Christabel. Their house, not so far away from here, is almost like a political salon where you meet lots and lots of like-minded politicians. I myself have always been warmly welcomed in this country, and that's what is actually the most striking. Having lived here for now 17 years, I have never been made unwelcome. I have been welcomed with open arms in by all sorts of people, all sorts of places. When I stood for elections, and there were usually, at local elections, 3 people from my party on the ballot for a specific ward, and the other 2 had very English names, and I, of course, a very foreign name, which looks French, even worse. In fact, voting-wise, it never made any difference. All 3 of us usually got about the same number of votes.
Well, higher up the alphabet, that's a great advantage.
That is usually the only thing which makes the difference. It makes a difference of 20 or 30, 40 votes, where you are in the alphabet. But that's it. In the secrecy of the polling booth, people do not discriminate. And that is very striking. Now, how did this book come about? It has a lot to do with my very good friend Rupert Matthews, who's just here, who is the publisher. Rupert, in June this year, Rupert asked me, JP, are you interested in writing a book or a manifesto or a brochure or something like that? And I said, yeah, I'd like to do a book. Come up with a proposal. And the next day I sent in my proposal because this was something which had been in the back of my mind for a long time. And so I wrote it in 5 weeks, July, August, a lot of it in the office. There's nobody from the office here, thankfully. And then revised it for about 7 weeks. So in 3 months it was all done and dusted. It needed to be ready for the Conservative Party conference for the launch there. The problem with a book is that it's never finished. You never know when you write a book, you never know when it's done. And you really have to give yourself a strict deadline because you can't keep revising and keep adding things. And so as soon as I had sent it to Rupert, I realized, oh, I forgot that and I should have put that in, and maybe I should have changed that, but of course it needs to end at some point. And so what's in it is up to today. It's basically, when I arrived in 1994, up to now, all the things I saw and encountered, and lots of anecdotes right up to today, and the most recent bits I've chosen what is politically relevant. And so if I had waited for another 2 months, I would probably have put my Liam Fox anecdote in it as well. So that's lucky. It is a mixture of autobiography, travel writing, and political history. Travel writing in that it's very much observing, as an outsider coming into the UK, observing what goes on here and how people behave. And I noticed myself that while I was writing the book, the first chapters in the beginning, 1994, 1995, 96, I was very much writing in the sense of they, the English, and they do this, and I saw that. And then I noticed that unconsciously, when I went when I wrote more chapters, I started to write we. And that's very much how it's now. I feel like this is we. And I became a British citizen, but that's not when it actually happened. The longer you are in a country, the more you identify with it. And the more strange your original country becomes. I go back to Belgium, and every time I go back, it becomes stranger and stranger.